Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Today we have the name Ya Mateen. It's a really powerful name, so I'm going to read a little bit about it. Then we'll jump on to the exercise that will help us come closer to Allah and this name, inshallah ta'ala, and then through the visual exercise, and then I'll read while you are creating. So, Ya Mateen, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Al Mateen is the kind of strength that makes one consistent and dependable. At the scale of the whole universe, this balanced rhythm is an expression of divine omnipotence. It gives the strength to keep on keeping on. It involves mastery as well as stability. You become like a rock or a mountain. You feel grounded in the world because you are grounded in your own self, and this gives you integrity as a human being. The quality that indicates al-mateen in your life is the presence of rhythm, daily rhythm. The power that comes from this rhythmic existence is a kind of balance, harmony, and wholeness. Al-mateen gives you the strength to handle both success and failure. It is the strength to balance and harmonize your individual needs and the needs of the group. This is a great name if you're dealing with a lot of commitments with people outside of yourselves, and then sometimes you forget to take care of yourself. So you're so externally committed, doing things for children, husband, parents, dogs, teachers, friends, I don't know, colleagues, whatever you want to call it. And the attention is constantly being focused outside. So this is a great name that helps us remember that yes, we do have commitments, but we also do have a commitment within us, with our own soul, with our own body. So it keeps bringing you into that balance sketch. If you're doing something outside, it will help you come home into your own self also. So the rhythm builds, inhale, exhale kind of thing, the sun going up, the sun going down. It's that kind of a name that holds you for other people also. You are not, they don't shut down or things don't get removed, but you learn and have the strength to go, be of use to them, but not forgetting what you need for your own self. So it's a really nice balancing name, Alhamdulillah. I will start. As I start, I'll keep talking about the name and then explaining why the exercise matters and what is it saying to us. First of all, I always like to create a border. Now, this is something that you can do with measuring. I'm going to use one of these washi tapes, and you can use normal scotch tape or something, or if you feel better, because the exercise needs us to have straight lines. So if you feel better, you can measure like a 1 centimeter border on the edges and get yourself a nice clean border. Why the border helps us is it brings our focus into the now. We start looking at this piece of paper and our attention is fully present here. So I'm going to use approximately a 1 centimeter border tape. Like I said, you can measure it or you can use any other kind of tape that you have. Just make sure that if you're using a normal sticky tape, then it is something that you uh, put on the table first and then stick it on the table first and then pull it out, just so that the glue consistency is less and it doesn't tear off your paper, inshallah. That's the only thing that happens with what's
We
it.
need a border on all four sides, right?
Yes, please. My tape isn't going great, so I'm just going to use this one. Yes, this name. Sorry, my focus was not there. So I'm just sticking my tape. I like these because I don't have to use a scissors or anything, and I can just do it with my hand. So I've got this. I'm going to stick this second last one. You can also choose the size of the border. It doesn't have to be, the 1 centimeter. It can be like a thick one or a thinner one, however you please it to be. There we go. Oh, this is a little off, so I'm going to. So when we think about Allah, right, we think of not think. Allah says He introduces Himself in Quran by saying He's the light of the heavens and the earth. Now, for me, the symbolic way of looking at light is always like pure white lines or the 7 colors of the rainbow, because that's light itself. So we're going to work with that concept. And it's really cool because I'm going to do the maths here with you guys. Today is the 17th. 7, 2026. So when we add this, who's great at maths? I just want to make sure that's
8,
14,
15,
15,
17, 19, 25.
25. That means it is
7.
coming to 7. Right? So it kind of works with the synchronistic moment. The date is also coming to the same number as we're planning to work with. So using your washi tape or whatever tape you have, or if you want, you're going to use your long ruler and create lines of different thicknesses, but every line will have it'll be like a border. So I'll show you. For example, I am creating this line. So it's going to be, I need these white lines that pass through the sheet of paper. It just makes it easier to use a washi tape to cut through. I'll explain. This is what I'm hoping to do. So the white, this will remain the white line, and we'll be working on the other things. And the lines can be of different thicknesses or different tapes, whichever you're choosing, as long as it's kind of like a white space running through the sheet of paper. I'm not thinking, I always believe in just having a plate. Now I'm using this really thin one, and I'm going to just enjoy sticking it here. And if you really want to go into it, you can also say, Humna, I'm only going to have 7 lines, just to go with 7, 7, 7. I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying if you wanted, you can. And again, I'm not looking at the balancing of it, because the balancing will happen anyway as it's meant to. So I'm not very parishan of that. I'm just sticking the tape and enjoying. So isi tarah se, when you're making the lines, just enjoy creating the lines. The life that we all live is very unpredictable. So sometimes we're going on the path and thinking we're going straight. But then there are moments we have to sort of stop. And then there are moments we have to run and make decisions very, very fast. So there are different days, different things that we are required to do. And they're a part of Allah's plan. Even though we don't know what it is, we know that it's Him behind the whole show. And so we build our trust. So that's kind of like what the lines are representing. Ke life may, whatever happens, there's a pattern, there's a rhythm that He knows about. I don't know about it. And it's a lot of nice feeling of surrender. So now you might ask me कि हमना कितनी लाइनें बनानी है? How far do you want me to keep going? Like, this is totally the freedom of being creative, right? You don't need to be told what to do. You can just say मैं एक ही line बनाऊंगी, उसी में मैं खुश हो जाऊंगी, and then somebody might turn around and say I'm really enjoying the sticking of the tape. I'm going to keep going. So totally up to you and your life pattern. It will automatically, the pattern will show up in how much tape you put, how much spaces you make. Just let it happen with no control. Just have fun. And there will come a time where it'll be like, you know what? Acha bas ho. Theek. Okay, done. So let that be your sign to stop. I'm gonna go.
Do we need to go from one end to the other? We can go somewhere in the middle as well.
Ideally, one end to the other would be nice.
Okay.
But just to kind of keep it connected. And also kind of, I like your question because it says end to end, meaning like from the beginning of your life to the end of your life, to the beginning of the day to the end of the day, you know, wo wali feeling. He's always there with us. So we can bring that element in. Thank you. In my head, I know that I have to put 2 more tapes down. So I'm going to stick to my loyalty to my head and do 2 more lines. If my tape works, I can do it. How is it going so far? Everybody's okay? Going.
Yeah, I'm fine, but because my tape is exactly the same color of the tape, I'm a hard time finding where the tape is.
Hard won't be visible.
But it'll come out when the colors come. So
Gee,
hopefully.
Yes.
Because right
Is
now
it
all I can see is white.
Is it just the typical like our Scotch tape wala hota hai?
No, it's a new kind of tape, which is
Huh.
actually white in color, but it's like the Scotch tape set.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you look at it, it will look like a white plastic reel to you. You won't really say it's a Scotch tape.
I'm
Is
just
it
listening
the
to it.
magic tape? Oh, sorry, Nadia.
I said, Humna, today I'm just watching and listening.
Fabulous. Okay, I've put my tapes away. Now, you know, when we think about, let me know where you guys are, so then I will start. This is something, it's nice if we do it together, because it'll be fun.
I'm almost done, so
ठीक है.
a couple more minutes, I guess.
My 2 minutes. Yeah, of course. Is anybody here has any connection with the name that you want to share while we're waiting for this name? What is your understanding of Ya Mateen?
I'd say
Can
for
I say?
oh
Yeah,
God.
Go Nadia.
It was just to say that for me, like I'm not able to do the session in the active art making, as I have children around me. What you said earlier with the name, what helps you? There's always a lot of external commitments, which is absolutely fine. But for me, I would say that just seeing the lines and what you said earlier about them being straight reminds me of like keeping my own back straight and like being strong in myself. So yeah. Just a bit of
Hannah,
a
for me, what stood out? Sorry, was someone saying something? Hello?
जी, बोलिए.
What stood out for me was the name, strives for us to maintain a balance while finding strength within us. To say no to others, or even to, things that call to us, but, we should be mindful of doing seeing how we are in the moment and then deciding. So I think it's a very good name again for me, especially to make me feel grounded and safe in myself to know what I want and where I want to go ahead from
Hmm.
here.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think the other thing that just came to me is like, when you're praying and you bend your back and you go up and down, and the movement of your body and how that is in synchronicity when you're in that prayer is like that focus and attention is directly there versus the external running around and how you bend your back for others.
Hmm. Hmm. That's a really beautiful connection. So, if you think about, if you bring in the namaz element, the prayer thing, Mateen is somebody who is going to give you strength to stand up straight. And then he's the one who's going to give you the strength to go into the ruku. And then he's the one who's going to pull you back up to submission again. And then he's going to give you the strength to go down. So as he gives you strength to go down, it is he alone who gives you strength to get up. Now, when you understand that when you are in standing position, when he's giving you strength, and for example, he's giving you lots of success, right? You're standing straight, you're on your path, blah, blah, blah. He is giving you strength to get through that or to get to that. And he's also going to give you strength when you are not straight, when you are in sajda, when you're completely broken, when you're completely in darkness. So the kind of strength Allah is speaking about Mateen is not that comes only at a certain point or in a certain way or to a certain kind of person. Kecha, the one who prays will be able to experience Mateen, or somebody who is, really in pain, then Allah will sort of come through. Like when he talks about Khabir, that's not a name that is going to be activated for uh, most people, because it's going into the depth of the darkness, which is Latif, and then further inward is Khabir, and Khabir is a place where you have to completely lose a certain identity to be completely not what you were before and after that journey. So most of us won't go through Khabir because Khabir really, really needs us to do the hijr, leaving behind everything familiar to go into the next one. And again, that is like what elements of our past come through as normal people need to be. Like, your parents still survive or are with you through the darkness, and then when you come out, they're still with you. There are people who go through life where Khabir activates, and Khabir means that nothing from your past comes forward into your future, be it children, be it profession, be it money, be it husband, nothing absolutely comes with you, right? So that's the activation of Qadir. So Allah Mia only, he's very clear about his names, that he's giving us strength. He's giving us strength in darkness and in light, in day and in night when we sleep. So, and how much of it he gives and when he gives, and to some he will give the strength to move forward, and some he will give not the strength to move forward. We can't be judging people for where they are or why they are the way they are. So he literally takes us out of the picture to show that he's got everybody. So stop trying to be the one that you want them to depend on. Sometimes you will not be able to help people, and that's quite okay, because the one who will be is going to do it for them. That's that kind of thing. So it's a beautiful name to ground, to surrender, to realize that we are not God. So it's like, it's a very, very, and especially when it comes to our children, or when it comes to our spouse, or comes to our parents. So for example, my mother is very, very unwell, and I want to kind of take care of her, and I want to take care of somebody else, and I want to do my job, and I want to have my home chores. For example, for a day, I am unable to do something for my mother, for example, right? That I need to understand that is Mateen activating in me, saying, I've got her, you haven't. So he will close the door of you attending to your mother only and only to remind you he is the one whose help, whose strength, whose healing, whose guidance is the one she needs to depend on, not you, right? So he'll remove you just to show you that you are not Mateen. He is. Does that make sense? You can be only Mateen, your activation of Mateen, the strength that you will give to somebody will only be dependent on what and who he chooses and how much. So maybe this name will stand by me in a certain situation, in a separate situation, she won't, right? And I don't have to have that attachment. Oh, if the Tasneem, my pillar is not there, I will collapse. Nobody's ever going to collapse, ever, right? Without Allah's will. So it's kind of like that strength. So with that, Bismillah ar-Rahman Tasneem, okay? Should I go?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we think about the colors, I want you to think like we'll go from the root chakra upwards, just because we were talking about the 7 colors, and it's a nice way to kind of connect our chakras also. So when we think about the root chakra, we can think about red. On your sheet of paper, as you have these spaces in front of you, think of these are like the phases of life, the days of life, the moments of life, where you've just existed in this world, right? So let's start with the color red. I want you not to worry about the end, but enjoy the process. So put some water wherever your heart feels that that's the beginning. Remember, I always say, like, don't point the center, just go with wherever the center happens to be, where it comes. So don't measure it. But for example, I am saying this is my red. I'm not thinking if it's on the right side or the left side, but it just came to me that this is my red side. I've put some color in it, water in it, sorry, right? I'm going to take the red color. Now, watercolors ki ek bahut khoobsurat, the most beautiful thing about watercolors is that you're meant to be using less water, less color, more water. So we've got water. I'm going to just put a little bit of red here. So now I'm saying this is my root chakra. I am finding myself in this moment through this red color, and this is the journey where it all began. Now, this moment, the red root chakra, is something I have to remember that I exist in different phases of my life. So look at the sheet of paper, and wherever your heart says, okay, mine is saying here another red blob. I don't like the word blob in this exercise, so I'm going to say red color. Then I feel like, okay, I need a little bit here because I needed grounding here. So I'm not thinking of much. I am literally enjoying the process of placing red. Try not to be too like, okay, I need so much foundation. I need my root chakra to be activated, blah, blah, blah. Just enjoy recognizing that this is you coming into the world through blood, through the womb, through that what he chose for you to be created in the space. We've got nice red happening, right? The next color that we go into is going to be the orange one. This is a really lovely way of, awakening your inside. So inside you, you have the light that you are here to spread. Again, my root chakra thing, my red is connected to my orange. So wherever the red was, it doesn't have to be connected, but mine is coming like that. So for example, you want to go totally off here into an orange, that's totally fine. You can, that's where your color is coming. Then we're going to go and take your time. Like just because I'm going into orange doesn't mean you have to. Okay, so take your time. I'm just enjoying the colors. And as we move forward, always put the water first because water has imagine water is like Allah's love. Okay? So it is always there in every color. So in red, it is him. In orange, it is him. In yellow, it's going to be him, right? The phases of life are continuing to be existing. Like the tape that we put is going to always be there, right? But through those phases, the colors are always there. What are the colors? The colors is the light, his light that awakens the sun within me. His light that gives me the strength to be who I am. His light is what gives me the strength to speak. His light is what helps me be honest, whatever it is that comes for you. It's just a really lovely way to be more fluid, let go of control, understand कि हर phase में he was holding us. Every color is his, right? Now I look at it and I'm like, acha, okay. Now the next stage is, I hope you guys know, it's yellow, blue. So it's going to be the color of the throat chakra. It is he who helped me to speak my truth, to be able to see the color, one color from the other, right? So not only speak, now the colors are actually going to start merging into each other. I'm not focusing on how it's looking. I'm just literally having fun. And maybe your throat chakra is very, very activated, or maybe it is underactivated. Depending on that, you will have your colors come to life. So don't be too like, oh, mera ye color nahi aa raha, mera wo color nahi aa raha. Don't be dramatic. Just keep the flow of allowing the piece to evolve. This is really nice also to show us that each chakra, each color is blendable with the other. And each color, look how many shades there are to red. There are so many shades to yellow. There's so many shades to blue, right? So there will be a time in your life where you will speak a lot, but then there will be a time in your life where you wouldn't want to speak a lot, or situations in your life, or people in your life. You say, "Nahi, bhai, I don't want to deal with these people, or I don't want to talk with these people, or I don't want to do blah, whatever." Okay? So that's also a really lovely thing to reconnect to. Then we go on to our navy blue. That is our third eye. I always look at the third eye as the sky. So when the sky becomes your guide, when the third eye, when this world is not your teacher, the teacher is beyond. When you recognize that the teacher was never on the floor, it was always within you. That's when the third eye, the blue, is like vastness, is the truth, is the strength to do magic, to be magic. Blue is also a color of non-attachment to the earth. It's very high up. So in that respect, it's a really lovely color. And then we go on to our lilac. Lilac or purple. I'm not sure if I have it in this palette. I forgot green. So I'm going to go green. Now, you know what that tells me about me? Just an interpretation, and you can connect with this yourself. I was going to stop at lilac, but I realized I don't have lilac. So lilac is not, it's maybe not there at all. And I need to focus on what I do have, which is a good heart. I do have a very good heart. And so I'm going to focus on my green. Rather than wondering about the things that I don't have, I'm going to value the things that I do have. So I'm not going to get up and go and run around and, okay, oh, mere paas nahi hai, let me just go. I'm not feeling the urge to. So I'm just going to sit here, enjoy, noticing my heart being a gift, and I'm okay in that moment.
You know,
Now,
when you said that, sorry, Humna, I just have to add, when you said the way you said lilac, it made me think of La Ilah. I've never
well, I
made that
guess,
connection before, like the fact that the color lilac has La Ilah.
yeah, true, so true. Very, very true, Nadia. And I guess that's because we are doing La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. We're saying there is nobody but him in the lines and in the color, in the flat white lines that will get created and in the color that we see, meaning in places where we have experienced God and when we've not experienced God, either way, he's always been there, regardless of my understanding of him. So thank you, Nadia. Yes, that makes very much sense. One of the things I highly recommend, if you do this exercise again, because we're doing it as a live thing, I'm unable to take it in layers. This is a super cool exercise if you do it in layers. So for example, you wait for one color to dry, then you do the other one. Then you wait for that color to dry, and then you do the other. The effect is absolutely incredibly amazing. So I would highly advise you guys to one day try.
Hamna, if you were to do that, so would you
Ji.
mean, like on the entire space, or like separately, like we've done in this? Or like create the like one color with in all, and then let it dry and then repeat the other one, or just like that, randomly coloring whatever comes to mind?
Randomly coloring bhi, if you let one to dry, the next
Ah,
one will come as a layer on top. And it's the
okay.
transparency is really beautiful. You know, like
All right.
it'll look like paper on top of paper, like is tarah se. Right now it's
Okay.
all merged in now because the water is
Yeah.
sort of, but if it's dried, then it will build in layers. You can choose one color also. Super nice question. So for example, if I want to say, okay, Allah Mia, give me the strength in my voice. For example, just an example, and I say blue is the color of voice. So subconsciously, my brain knows that blue for me is connected to my voice. And I'm asking Allah to give me mateen, my strength that comes from Him through my voice, give my voice more strength. So I will go and do only shades of blue because that will like subconsciously आपकी brain automatically उस blue से connect करेगी as giving you the strength of mateen. Does that make sense? So you can work
Yes.
with one color. I think it'll look absolutely beautiful. You can do all the 7 colors in that way also. So you can get lots of shades. I think that'll be so much fun. But anyway, so the other thing is when we do this, we were still a bit in control of the exercise. This part, we are not in control. So what I'm doing is there's water on my sheet of paper and I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to make the connection happen through whatever his will is. It reminds me of Gola Ganda. I don't know if you guys have had Gola Ganda as a young person.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Hai na?
You know, the
I
new
remember
legislative
that it
color.
was such a beautiful memory, and I have not had Gola Ganda in God knows billions of years now.
We'll have it. It's so hot when you come. We can have it.
Is it here? Like good water? Sorry, my bad.
Yes, good water and good.
शर्म भी आती है बोलते हुए, but so yeah, this is how. So this is us saying, okay, I'm not in control of the phases of my life that happen, but in every phase of life, visually, I'm able to understand that there was something that he was doing, like which was not in my control, and yet it was under his control. And so it could have looked like a mishy-moshy, something that I was going through that was really hard, but it was part of his plan. And so I accept, I love, I am. So that was like the beginning of the session, right? Because I'm not going to take my tape off, and totally up to you if you don't want to either, I would advise you to hair dry it first, right? And then you can go in and decorate these spaces. Ideally, do not take the tape off when the piece is still wet because it will either tear apart or it will blend the colors in. We really want to have nice and sharp white lines going through because it needs to emphasize to our brain. Sometimes we see Allah, we can experience Him, but there are times when we go through very difficult moments in our life, and that's part of being human, where we have felt disconnected. Even when we are crying to Him, we're feeling so much pain, the excruciating pain within us, कि उसमें we do feel disconnected from Allah. And so in those moments, he is still very clean cut there with us. So those lines are really important to be crisp and white, if as much as we can, but there will be some seeping in and leaking, so don't stress too much about it. Okay, and then you can start your pattern making inside these spaces. Once you have dried, you can do them with white, you can do them with black, you can do them with blue, you can do them with whatever you feel like doing. I would personally advise, now this is how I'm going to be working, but this part is totally optional. I'm going to create a circle in the middle, and inside my circle, जो spaces मेरे पास the spaces that I will have, I'm going to write Mateen in it. Instead of doing a pattern, I'm going to write Mateen, Ya Mateen, or Al Mateen, whatever calls you, inside it. So inside me, I am activating Mateen. I understand the past. I understand the future is in his hands. The past happened for whatever reason. But in this very moment, I'm going to create a circle in the middle. And in that spaces, I'm going to literally write Mateen and recognize that here, jo bhi strength, whatever strength I want in my backbone, in my head, in my heart, in my being, in my relationships, in whatever I want strength, he is going to provide it for me in this very moment, not past, not future. In this moment, he's providing. So that's my personal choice. It's totally up to you. I think it's very powerful, but I don't dictate what you do. I just guide you so you can choose what you would like to do. If, by the way, just in case, if you have the energy where you feel like I would like to write Mateen in every space, right? I would really advise you to do that and not do it in the circle, because what that will do is actually heal your inner child and it will heal your anxiety. So that is also a very positive way of going through that. You're saying you will be in full acceptance of your past and you will be full acceptance of your future, right? So that's also a really good way of doing it. Agar kisi ko karna hai. Otherwise, you can choose two patterns. Hanji.
I'm getting a crazy idea.
Boliye. Bilkul, do it. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I think I will.
Bismillah, bismillah, bismillah. Beautiful. Karo, karo, karo. It's the joy is like, it's just such a joy. Such a joy. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
I don't think I have lilac either.
You don't have, well, I like what Nadia said, that the whole sheet is, we don't need the word, we don't need the color, because we know it is La ilaha illallah. There is no God but him. He is in all the colors. He is in all that's seen. He is in all that's unseen. So kya zarurat hai jab pata hai ki wo hai. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So thank you to both of you. So all of you. I will start reading. It's not a long one, so I'll just start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Mateen. The part I'm going to read now is actually from the book. I've just written it down. And I realized कि इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें, there's so many things in this already, which I feel like I could go on elaborating, but for some reason today, I was asked to keep it very precise. So I'm going to go with the things that he wants us to focus very clearly. Baki, inshallah, I hope he gives us the chance to go to Mateen again. But for now, this is what's coming through. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Al-Mateen is the kind of strength that makes one consistent and dependable. At the scale of the whole universe, this balanced rhythm is an expression of divine omnipotence. It gives the strength to keep on keeping on. It involves mastery as well as stability. You become a rock or a mountain. You feel grounded in the world because you are grounded in yourself, and this gives you integrity as a human being. One of the things that I keep reminding myself is that I didn't choose to be his slave. He chose for me to be his slave, right? When you understand, when you are grounded in that reality, he chose me to be his slave. I'm not the one choosing me to be his slave. You're very clear about it. It's not my ego saying, wow, I am the one who's done the work and I am the one who, is choosing Allah. I could have been born in a different religion. I could have been born wherever it is. He chose me. And that really grounds us, that he gifted me his awareness, So we have to really remember that is what makes us strong and like a rock and a mountain. He chose for me to be his slave. I couldn't have been a slave. I couldn't even do a sajda. I mean, let alone sajda. I couldn't even think of Allah if He didn't give me the permission to think of Him, right? It is He who has gifted me a life where He has chosen to give me His awareness, and that gives me the groundedness in myself. Ki I am His choice, right? His choice of slave, and that is what will give me integrity as a human being. He chose for me to be who I am, and that will automatically ground me. Agar मैं कभी when I get off track, I'll come back to on track, inshallah ta'ala, or all of us, when we have that understanding. He chose for me to be His slave. A quality that indicates al-mateen in your life is the presence of rhythm, daily rhythm. You know, for me, it's such a beautiful way when he says rhythm. Rhythm hota hai upar and niche. Sometimes we hear certain musics, right? So, for example, heavy metal music. Now, to somebody's ears, that is rhythm. That is beautiful. That is going to give them peace. That is going to motivate them. That is going to, I don't know, do whatever it is that it's meant to do. Okay? But then there are some people who listen to ghazals and they're really slow and they're just like on a different level. And that is what gives them strength. That is what gives them presence. That is what gives them hope. So the rhythm, like to say, ki, acha, only those who listen to ghazals or Nusrat Fateh Wali is going to be feeling the rhythm. I mean, there are different rhythms on this planet, and everybody can tune into whatever rhythm that their heart desires or gets whatever they get from. So rather than me saying, acha, uska rhythm, acha, like, judging that rhythm is toba, toba, astaghfar, and that rhythm is wow, is not my place at all. It is a rhythm that Allah gives us. It is His choice who He gives rhythm to and what kind of rhythm He's giving. So it's very, very important to be very respectful of other people's rhythms also, the power that comes from this rhythmic existence is a kind of balance. Acha, the rhythm is also like, when we think about the waves, one goes up, one goes down, right? Then we can think about the rhythm as, again, the sun that comes up and then it goes down. So everything that goes up comes down. There's always a high, there's always a low, there's always a constant movement, right? And the reason it is daily is so that you and I don't forget. So it's basically on repeat. The same thing, the same thing, the same thing. Why would Allah make it rhythm? Why would He need to go like down? Why couldn't the sun just be up? Because our system is designed to have that break. So inhale and exhale has to happen together. If I cannot inhale and then just sit there, I have to exhale in the same moment, like in the same rhythm, right? So it's so important that Allah has designed, but He is always light. I am not always light. I can be a complete rotten egghead. And with somebody, I am like the most gentlest human being ever born, right? I don't have that one saint girl kind of personality because that's not human. That's literally that the rhythm of my life. When you think about like our upbringing is always be the good girl, be good in studies, be good in cooking, be good in looking, be good in wearing clothes, be good in behaving, be good in like whatever good you need to be in. So there's a constant thing of going high, 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 high. And then by God, when you crash, you realize my identity is not the high. That was just a phase, a sliver of my existence that I need to be. Don't always have to be happy. I have to be happy, sad, and all the 10,000 billion. By the way, there are, I think, 3,000 and more emotions that a human being feels. So if we kind of remove the negatives, emotions from our life, the positive emotions from our life do also get affected. So the daily rhythm, the constantly reminding us of Himself through the existence is just one of the biggest biggest blessings that Allah does for us. Ki jab hum upar jaye, He's there with us. When we come down, He's there with us. Again, He's reminding when we are up, like we're experiencing success, He's like, it's from me. When we're experiencing failure or rejection or abandonment, He's saying, nobody but me is always with you. So He's always in every rhythm, in every part, in every sound, in every experience. He's always going to be with us, good or bad. The power that comes from this rhythmic existence is a kind of balance. Of course, when you're going to go high, you'll remember Allah. So you will be in balance, you'll be in harmony, and you'll be in wholeness. And if you're going low, you'll be like, this is from Allah. He will pull me out of this. You trust more, again, the balance, the harmony, and the wholeness. Al-Mateen gives you the strength to handle both success and failure. It is a strength to balance and harmonize your individual needs with the needs of the group. Ya Mateen very clearly reminds us of Allah as Him being consistent. Number 2, Him being dependable. And number 3, has unlimited power, right? As Allah reminds us of Himself, He also reminds us about ourselves, which means when He is saying He is consistent, right? We will feel strong and weak. We are not going to be consistently strong. And also not in everything, in every situation. I can be very, very strong for one person, but I can be very, very weak in another situation. That is not to say there's something wrong with me, but I'm never going to be consistent, right? And that's okay. I'm going to feel strong and I'm going to feel weak. And that's part of the rhythm. Now, when he comes to the second point, he says dependable. Allah is always and always dependable, right? But we will be able to be there for others and ourselves. But then there will be times we won't be able to, meaning I might not be dependable at all the time. So somebody messages me, I'm there for them. But then there's somebody else who's messaging me while I'm doing something else, I'm not there for them, right? And then I'll sit there going, hi, I wasn't there for you. Hi, I'm so sorry. Well, you weren't meant to be, right? So sometimes some people are dependable and sometimes they are not dependable. And sometimes I am able to depend on myself, but then sometimes I have to go out and ask for help because I'm not able to do something. So that also is a way to remember that you are not always going to be dependable for everyone. He always is going to be the one who we can depend on. Number 3, he says he has unlimited power, right? But our strength is dependent on the source of power, which is Him. And He chooses how strong we are in a situation. And so our power is limited. Why is our power limited? Because our power socket is connected to His socket. We can never feel powerful till we are connected and plugged into His socket. Now, He doesn't need a socket because He's vast. He's like beyond the 7 skies. He's providing electricity to the whole of the universe, right? But my wire, my strength, where does it come from? If only I plug it into Mateen, right? So my power is very, very limited. His power is absolutely unlimited because my power, my strength is dependent on whom? The source of all power. Whereas he will choose how much He's going to give me. I'm not going to be like, I'll plug it in and then I'll think, oh, whatever I'm getting, somebody else is also going to get exactly the same amount of electricity to light all the bulbs in my house. Doesn't work like that. He chooses who He gives and how much electricity He's going to give you. Because who is He? He is the source of all strength, right? He's the source of all power. Whereas me, I don't know what my wire can handle. Who does know how much electricity my wire can handle? Allah. Right? So He will know how much electricity, how much downloads, how much connection, how much whatever it is that I'm here to receive and how much somebody else is, right? So I shouldn't really be comparing, first of all. And secondly, I have to understand that my power is limited. I cannot not be able to receive electricity through my thing unless, number 1, He wills it. And then He chooses if He's going to give me 2 bulbs light or He's going to give me 2 bulbs and a fan electricity, or he's going to give me a dishwasher along with it, or he's just going to give me dishwasher but not electricity for the bulb and the light. I hope I'm making sense. It's quite funny, but it really, really makes a visual sense. And then we stop comparing. So he's letting us know our strength is dependent on the source of power, and he chooses how strong we are in a situation. And so our power is limited to what he chooses for us. When we grasp these three things of who he is and how we are, we go through life experiencing harmony, balance, and wholeness. There's something really strange. I have never felt this before. During a session, I have never felt this nausea. And I know this is something to do with either the name or with one of yours energies. Maybe some of you are actually working overtime and your electricity plug is bursting or is not, there's something someone is doing where it's overload, like the spark, like I don't know how to explain this feeling, but it's like there's a vomit, like there's overload. I don't know who it is. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The same strength that is needed to open the door is needed to close the door. When we open the door, we need the same strength, and when we close the door, we need the same strength. But the actions required are different. To open the door, we have to push. To close the door, we have to pull. To open the door, we have to move forward. Matlab humko step aage lena hota hai, right? But to close the door, we have to move backwards. It's a really simple way of looking at what life is about. The strength needed to open the door and to close is the same, but the action requires a different intention to achieve the result, right? If I'm choosing to open the door, there's a different action that I have to take. When I want to close the door, I have to take a different action for the result that I want to achieve. Allah, Ya Mateen, gives us the strength to open the door and to close the door, to move forward and to move backwards. Strength is not always rising to the skies. Strength is also needed to reach the depth of the ocean. Strength is not always about the seed sprouting into a tree to blossom into beauty. Strength is also about being buried under the ground, surrounded by the dense darkness of this earth. Strength is not always needed in burying the dead into the ground. Strength is also needed in pushing out the baby into this realm. But strength needs us to act differently in different situations. Some are guided to the strength of beauty of this world, and some are guided through the darkness of their ego. Some need strength to go through years of trauma for years. Some need strength to go through it in months or days or even hours. Everyone has a different kind of strength that they need. For some, strength is needed to be still, and for some, it's the strength need to walk away. Al-Mateen is letting us know, regardless of what you need to be doing, the source of all strength is Him in every situation. And His strength is consistent, His strength is dependable, and His strength is unlimited. If you can get these three words into your head and heart today, connected to Ya Mateen, consistency, dependability, and being unlimited. This is your Allah letting you know, regardless of what part of the tide or the ocean you are, you're up or down, day or night, His strength that He is giving you is always going to be consistent, dependable, and unlimited. And the same thing, you have to flip it and understand that the strength that you get from Allah is going to be these three words. But the strength that you get from people is going to be exactly the opposite of these three words. So your mother's strength that she gives you in a certain situation will not be always consistent. There's not something that you can always depend. By the way, I just say mother, but I mean different people like in your life, right? Humans, their strength that they are able to give you is not going to be consistent, is not going to be dependable, is not going to be unlimited, right? So it's literally, you have to flip it and see Allah's strength is this. Human's strength is this. So you will automatically not attach yourself to anybody Because you'll be like, okay, today they can give me help. Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Tomorrow they can't, because that's part of human nature. They're not meant to. That's not written for you, right? So don't be too depending on other people, and understand that people can only help you or be there for you in limited ways. Which means he is consistently providing all his creatures strength. He is the only one who can provide strength, and he has no shortage of strength, for he is limited. I don't know who this is for, but you really need to slow down. And you have to learn not only to say no, but you literally have to clean your space. And when I say clean your space, I really mean you need to really, really, really stop. There's someone spinning too bad internally, and this is not an external thing. It's your energy that I'm picking up. We did certain names before this name, and it is like a process, a journey that Allah's taken us. Shaheed is the external knowledge of all creations. He's letting us know he has all the knowledge of the external world. Latif, he wants you to experience the subtle love that is within you, connecting to your body, connecting to your soul, connecting to your organs, connecting to everything that is internal that you can't really see through your eyes. Khabir, he is the space beyond our perception, right? So he takes you into the realm of Shaheed, then he takes you into the realm of Latif, and then he takes you into the space which is beyond your mind, meaning beyond seeing, beyond feeling, beyond knowing, beyond understanding. Only and only him. In that space, he activates Qavi, the strength to sit in a space of that Khabir has created, the unknown, the uncertain, with full trust. Then he opened our awareness to Fatah. Be in space between the closing and the opening of the doors, and not rush and move with intent, without it. Move and only rush and move with intention and purpose, not performance and pleasing. Then he brought us, so after all of these names, then he brought us to Mateen. So there's a sequence of how he wants you to be awakened. Shaheed, outside. Latif, inside. Khabir, beyond you. Then inside Khabir, you will need Qavi. Inside Qavi, you will recognize that he will open some doors, he will close some doors. With you sitting in between those doors, he's going to activate Mateen. In this space created by Fatah, to have the knowing, he alone will give you the strength to walk through which door he chooses. Now he can bring you back, he can move you forward. He can pull you into closing a door, he can push you into opening a door. That's totally up to him. The size of the door. What you will receive depends on how he chooses. What you will lose will be in his hands. If you will go through or not go through, only he decides, and in that moment, you let go. Mateen is the strength to remember to do what you need to, with the knowing he is guiding you. He knows what you are ready for and what you are not ready for. Who you need, what you need, when you need, everything will reach you when you keep yourself grounded in the kind of strength, in the strength of Ya Mateen. In rain, in sunshine, in the crying of the baby, in the war between countries. Who needs how much strength to get through, to do what is provided by him? It is being able to feel Ya Mateen in every space, regardless of what shape it is. When you look at the artwork that you're creating, it's connected to that. You are able to feel Mateen in every space, regardless of what shape it is. Ya Mateen helps to keep you grounded regardless of the waves that hit your being. Whatever the situation, whoever the creation is, he is giving the strength which is constant, dependable, and unlimited. And through this knowing, awakened within the external, and through this knowing, with awakened, will awaken and through this knowing will awaken your within, and you will lose, and the external will lose all its power on you. The ego calms down and the soul feels in harmony, in balance, and whole, for it knows who it belongs to. For it knows and remembers who it belongs to and to whom he will return. So I really, really hope the session was helpful for you guys. And it can really make you forgive yourself for what has happened in the past, for whatever made you go low was only taking you there so you could remember that you are not in control. So let go of holding something from the past. Don't know who this is for. But anyway, that was meant to happen. And so Mateen was letting you know that he was there with you and he is there with you. And regardless of which part of phase you are in, regardless of what shape and size your piece is in, he's always and always going to be there. Sometimes you will see him, sometimes you will not see him. And that's quite okay. So I'm just going to take the tape off of my piece because it feels like it has dried, and this is a fun part. Just I heard be happy with what you have. Be happy with what you have. Be content with where you are. For exactly you're meant to be here. I'm not sure whose energy I've picked, but I have to end the session to release it. But I'm wishing you all a super lovely, lovely day. And I will So my plan is to create a circle, and then inside the circle, I'm going to do the zikr, inshallah ta'ala, and I'll share it through my Instagram for you guys to have a look. So thank you so much, and I'll speak to you soon, inshallah.